What's up, everybody? Welcome to Underground Crypto. Looks like we are live. Just waiting for it to pop up on my other phone here just so I can double check the audio, make sure the audio is good. Let me make it so you can see what I'm looking at here. Cool. All right. Audio came in. Audio check done. Let me know if there's any problems with the stream, everyone. Let's get to what we want to look at. All right. Well, first things first, we are going to be talking about AI narrative coins today. Put that down in the chat. Please let me know what kind of AI coins you're holding in your portfolio or you're looking at and wanting to speculate. None of this is financial advice. This is Underground Crypto Deep Dive Research Show. And we are researching and deep diving, right? So right off the bat, while we let a few people trickle in, let's talk about where Bitcoin's at. 116,898, very close to 117,000. What a recovery for Bitcoin today. We really needed that for sure. So I'm glad to see that we really got that recovery. Ethereum back up 4,820. That was a fast recovery. In the last 7 days, it's up 7%, but in the last 24 hours, it's up 13.6%. So beautiful price action recovery there for Ethereum. Same thing with XRP. Back to 306 at the current moment, sitting at 6.8% in the last 24 hours. BNB pushing that $900 mark. For all the BNB I've burnt in the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, should have just held on to it, right? Chasing those GameFi, right? The summer of DeFi, as we called it. So $895 for BNB. Solana, 199, up 10% in the last 24 hours, about to crack that $200. Can Solana crack $200 and hold it the way that Ethereum cracked $4,000 and held it? I sure hope so. And then let's see, Dogecoin sitting at almost 24 cents. Love to see that. One of my big holdings. I went over my story of how I got into crypto yesterday. Maybe I'll share it again, but it has to do with Dogecoin and some luck. Cardano sitting at 92 cents. And that's pretty much it for what's going on there. Let's take a look at what's trending. This bio protocol. We started talking about bio protocol probably 2 days ago, if not 3 days ago. So it's done well. I mean, in the last 24 hours, it's up another 38%. In the last 7 days, it's up 145%. So not too shabby. What's up, my brother in the chat? Glad to see you here, man. Always appreciate you supporting me. Thanks for being in here. We just started, so we're waiting for a few people to trickle in. While we're doing that, we're kind of just talking about what is trending for the day. Bio protocol, meme coin. I haven't seen that one in a little while. I wonder why it's pumping. Let's go take a look at it. It's a meme coin called meme coin. So what is it about, though? Why would anybody hold it? It's on Ethereum. It's not on multiple chains. $203.7 million in its market cap. And let's check it out. All right, just meme coin. That's it, right? One meme coin to rule them all. That's a heck of a claim. Website's pretty cool. Very meme-ish. Like we're blasting through space. Tokenomics. So we had 30% in the ecosystem, 25% in the airdrop, 17% in contributors, 12% private sale, 11% to the community pre-sale, advisory 3%, and Binance launch pool 2%. All right. Well, I'm going to hop back here. I want to see where it is. So it's on Ethereum. It's not even on Binance Smart Chain. Interesting. All right. Well, it's trending today. Not sure why. So we got Aave. Yeezy is trending again, but it looks like it's down. Man, the chart for this thing doesn't look good. I'm not a fan of the Yeezy coin. And that chart just looks ugly. The month looks the same as the 7-day. It hasn't been out very long. August 20th, 2025. I think he doesn't have the best publicity right now, Yeezy, for launching a Yeezy coin. Maybe he should read the room a little bit, but what do I know? $90.7 million in its market cap. We took a look at the website yesterday. I'll pop it up for just a moment. I did not think the website was impressive, to be honest with you. We look at a lot of websites here on the Deep Dive Research Show and a lot in my free time, and I have to say, for somebody so big with so much notoriety, the website's very much not impressing me. So let's hop back. We're looking at what's trending. If you're in here, hit that subscribe button, like, share, bell notification. Come join us every Monday through Friday for sure. Sometimes the weekends, 8:30 to 9:30 maybe. We usually run longer than that, so don't you worry. All right, let's go back to what's trending. So we talked about Yeezy. We have Athena, Pudgy Penguins, Aerodrome, one of my favorite coins in the base blockchain ecosystem. Good stuff. We will talk a little more about that another day, though, because today we're going to be talking about AI tokens. Last thing we're going to do real quick is take a look at top gainers. We just want to keep a pulse on the market as we're waiting for people to hop in, see that we're live. We just want to see what's trending, what's Bitcoin and Ethereum and a couple other big coins at, like XRP and Cardano, and top gainers, top losers. Top gainer of the day, REI, is up 50%. Let's go take a look at that. So it's got $125.5 million in its market cap. I would not say that it is too big to look at. But what is it? I know I've looked at it before, but man, we have looked at a lot of coins. All right, the website looks very techy, cultivating AI companies, so it kind of fits with the narrative for today. I can't say that I love its website. It is also just a little bit unfun to look at. So I'm going to bounce out of that. But REI Network is on Base blockchain, it looks like. Let's hop over to their Twitter real quick. I want to give them a fair shake, you know. So let's hop over to Twitter. Advancing AI through fundamental scientific principles, research led by these people and Hyperliquid X. So they're partnered with Hyperliquid X. Hyperliquid has been crushing it, one of the strongest looking things in the game now for a while, as far as up and coming. So 14.1 thousand followers, pin post, has 56,000 impressions, but only 177 likes. I don't like that ratio personally, but this is very techy, I'm sure, so you're not going to get a lot of retail love when it comes to it, right? But I do like to see that they are connected to Hyperliquid. Maybe that's why they're pumping so much on the daily. Let's go to the daily chart. Looks a lot better than the 7-day, right? Up 50%. All right, let's go back to our top gainers, top losers. We already looked at meme coin. We got research coin. Sapien was pumping hard the other day. Looks like it's continuing to pump off of its listing on the Coinbase exchange. Bio Protocol, which we talked about. Maybe we'll go back over that again tomorrow. And then let's look at our top loser. So we have Hiobi. It looks like it was one of the top gainers yesterday. Now it's a top loser. And then Yeezy, top loser, saw that coming as it pumped a lot yesterday. Light, that we went over a few days ago, is a top loser again. OKB was pumping pretty much whatever was the top gainers for a couple of days or a day. Usually winds up over there on the loser list as it pulls back. With that said, we are going to be hopping into the relative topic of the day, artificial intelligence. Tell me what AI coins you are holding in the comments here. So it's Friday. I wonder how many people are deep diving some crypto research on a Friday. I bet everybody thinks they got better things to do. This is how the winners win, in my opinion. So right off the bat, the biggest coin by market cap. Do you know what it is? BitTensor, touting a $3.5 billion market cap. It's pretty cool. Their website, if I remember, was pretty unique, but also a little techy, as a lot of these projects will be. So you really got to get your crypto IQ up if you want to understand a lot of these different things. 21 million max supply, just like Bitcoin. 9.5 circulating supply. Nice. A lot of tokens to come out, but I think that they're a responsible project from what I've seen, so that doesn't scare me much. And right off the bat, you come here and you just get this big blob, and I believe this is a representation of their blockchain and the way that it works. I think maybe they could put the about page here. Let's see if we can get a zoom in, making it all tiny and hard for us to read. Also, they have a ton of money. I think they could have did a little bit more for their website to make people want to read it and see what it's about. But, that's just my opinion. BitTensor's vision for a decentralized AI company has captivated large numbers of people in the arena of artificial intelligence and computer science who have yearned for an alternative to the top-down world being created by our current technology giants. However, the promise of what BitTensor is and can be has been masked by large technical barriers to understanding and thus not well digested by non-technical audience, and that is very much the truth. Hello. Glad to see you in here. Yeah, so what they're saying is very much true. It's not digested well by non-technical audiences. This is BitTensor, or Tau. I think they're going to do really well in my personal opinion, not financial advice. The purpose of this article is to answer why BitTensor matters to the world and why you should care and why we need to build it together. These are core questions, and they go into a long explanation that I highly encourage you to go read for yourself. But if I read it now, I will put everybody to sleep. But this is the big AI project by market cap, right? And again, it has a $3.5 billion market cap. So it is a big player, literally number 46 in the whole crypto market by market cap, that is. So let's go ahead and hop back and see what else we have to look at. Because although these big ones are interesting, and most people probably know BitTensor, but maybe not. I am always surprised when it comes to AI what people don't know. So Near Protocol, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, has Near Protocol always been an AI project? I don't feel like it was, because if we go to its max chart, right, it's been around for a while. So 2020, were they talking about being an AI project back in 2020? I don't know. So $3.3 billion in its market cap with a unlimited max supply. Personally, I don't like to see an unlimited max supply, but it can work for certain projects as long as they're managed properly and set up properly. The blockchain for AI, the platform powering the agentic future. Near is the execution layer for AI native. I remember this website. They have so much going on in the background, make it hard to read. AI native app enabling agents to own assets, make decisions, and transact freely across networks. So in crypto, we have this idea of AI agents. A lot of times it's like a meme coin, which is usually pretty useless and doesn't have a lot of use case, meets AI having some very specific function combined together to really get the marketing of a meme coin mixed with the actual use case and real usability of AI agent or a purpose-built AI. And so they're talking about on their blockchain, they want to enable AI agents to own and make decisions and transact freely without anybody interrupting or any safeguards up, or, very little safeguards up, which is pretty cool. You could set up an AI agent and make it, go out there and make money for you 24/7. Our vision for Near. We believe there's a better path for the internet where AI is not confined to closed corporate systems and agents can operate freely, transact securely, and protect users' privacy. This is their vision here. It's also a lot of people's nightmare, honestly. Most people who are not privy to the tech would read that and think that that sounds like Terminator. So that's Near Protocol for you. We won't spend near as much time on some of these big coins just because they are really big. How many Twitter followers do you think they have? Can you guess? While it loads. All right, 1.8 million. So they're doing a great job on social media. Near Protocol, the second biggest project by market cap. And we'll come down. ICP. I do hold ICP. I'm a fan of ICP. I think that they are way ahead of their time, personally. But if you know the story of how they launched with Sam Bankman-Fried and his company and how they totally took advantage of them and crashed them, that's why their chart looks like it is. And it's down 98.8% from its launch, but they really got screwed over on their launch, and it's actually a really sad story. But I think the tech is phenomenal. It should have never, let's see, what did it go up to? Because it should have never gone anywhere near what it did. This says 461. I remember it being worth way more than that. I remember it being worth like almost $800, and it should have never been anywhere near that from my understanding. They pushed it up, and then they short sold it all the way to the bottom, and FTX made a ton of money, and they just ruined this great project. So $2.9 billion in its market cap. Again, an infinite max supply. I don't love to see that, but the tech, I think, is really good. Let's go over to their website. So it says World Computer, which is the whole point. The internet computer hosts secure network, resident code and data, build web apps without big tech and current IT. Applications are immune to cyber attacks and unstoppable, capable of processing tokens and can run under exclusive DAO control. Build Web3 social media, games, DeFi, multi-chain apps, secure front end ledger, enterprise apps, and AI models. TCP/IP connected software and IT host software, which is a bunch of technical jargon. You probably not really sure what I'm talking about here. So there's an alliance. So become a go-to partner. We got the Fusion chain, create smart contracts that can trustlessly interact, coordinate multiple different blockchains, so interoperability, as we say a lot of the time, make AI immune to cyber attacks. That's a big deal. Helping the global Web3 ecosystem grow. We got real world use cases and ICP roadmap. So ICP is very technical project. They do a lot of things a little bit differently than what everybody else is doing. I really want to just get to, this is a good page. We'll just read this before we move on. The internet computer is a public blockchain network enabled by science from first principles. First principles is a keynote there. It is millions of times more powerful and can replace cloud and traditional IT. The network created by ICP, or Internet Computer Protocol, is orchestrated by permissionless decentralized governance and is hosted on sovereign hardware devices run by independent parties. Its purpose is to extend the public internet without native cloud computing function. How many different projects are touting that they are somehow decentralized, and they are really running on Amazon Web Services, and they are very centralized to attacks. And if web services go down from Amazon, they are going to be in a lot of trouble. So that is something that's very true. They've built something very unique with that technology. But will it catch on? Are they too far ahead of their time? Do they have the marketing? There are so many other factors that go into really being a huge coin and really getting the support of the people, or really the buy-in, the funds, the liquidity of the retail. Really, they're looking for institutional money, right? Render. Can't sleep on Render. It has stuck around for quite some time. $2 billion in its market cap. Number 67 by market cap across all of crypto. So it has been here for a while. It's made its way and it's hung out, and it hasn't really lost too much in the market cap game. So that's pretty good to see. $644.2 million in its max supply. Circulating supply, $518.3 million. So very close to being fully vested or having all the coins out. Let's go look at their website. And let's take a quick peek. Viewership a little slow on a Friday. I guess that's to be expected. Good day to deep dive these AI coins. Advancing the next generation of rendering and AI technology. We are a non-profit dedicated to maintaining the core render network protocol and community is growing. I want to see, is Render on? No, it's on Ethereum. Where else is it at? Polygon, which is a layer 2 of Ethereum, and Solana. So it is not its own L1. It's not its own layer. Upgrade render to render with the official upgrade tool. So they did have one time a rebranding of the name of their token. The Render Network Foundation. Revolution. The Render Network is the leading provider for decentralized GPU-based rendering solutions, hence the name Render solutions, revolutionizing the digital creation process. A lot of this stuff is very techy and probably not the most sexy thing to listen to retail who love meme coins, right? About dogs and cats. But this foundational stuff is what is going to bring everything else that wants to come into the ecosystem, bringing TradFi and the things you already use to blockchain, therefore bringing the money in, therefore price going up like everybody wants with their meme coin. These are the things that make it possible to do that. Monetization. The network connects node operators looking for monetize their ideal GPU compute power with artists looking to scale intensive 3D rendering work and applications to the cloud. So just like ICP was talking about getting away from the cloud, they are talking about rendering and hooking up applications to the cloud. So different ideologies. Efficiency. Through a decentralized peer-to-peer network, the Render Network achieves unprecedented levels of scale, speed, and economic efficiency. Community, and we're not going to read every single one of those. We're at the bottom of the website anyways. So I hope that gives you some idea. It's called Render. Obviously, it has a lot to do with rendering. Things like rendering and GPU processing power are what are really holding AI back right now, as far as it being able to scale and do as much stuff as everybody thinks that they are going to do from whatever sci-fi movies they are watching. It really needs the power to do this. All right, so the next one I have for you, I believe, is a little bit of a gem, but it's called Story IP. I remember when this thing came out, I did watch some interviews with the guy who launched this project, the creator. And let's look at their max chart. It looks like 2025, yep, February 12, 2025. So it really hasn't been out all that long. Let's hop over to the month chart. Up 13% on the month. $1.8 billion in its market cap. I feel like this thing has climbed really quick. And I think that really tells you that, people are speculating on this Story IP. But let's go to their website. Let's figure out why people might be speculating on such a new coin. Is it just because it's new? Or does it have some kind of something to show for it? So AI native infrastructure for IP. AI's next leap depends on unlocking the 80 trillion IP asset class. Story tokenizes IP and makes programmable from ownership to remix to monetization. So from my understanding, I believe this has a lot to do with social media even, hence the name Story. Crocs is a company, they're Google Cloud. Very interesting to see Crocs on there. They must be way ahead of the time. So AI runs on IP, right? Story is purpose-built to solve AI's biggest bottleneck: access rights, cleared, specialized, real-world data. So this is kind of what we were just talking about. AI can't really do what it should be able to do because it just does not have the power. With that being said, I have a project that I will be talking about here in a little bit that I think is a gem for sure. You can mine it and use your internet that you're not using, your leftover internet or the internet you don't use when you're not on your computer or watching TV, and it takes that and turns it into reward points. I will be talking about that project later, and I will have a link for you guys to go start earning your own rewards with them. Purpose built for IP. So Story is the infrastructure layer that makes IP and real-world data programmable, enforceable, and monetizable. And I feel like we've talked about that enough. Let's see. Let's get something else. On-chain enforcement, automated attributes and royalties across derivative graphs. So they are talking a lot about IP and monetization. It says AI companies, data providers, biomedicine and patents, institutional funds, brands and entertainment, creators. They're bringing all that into one place. They have Samsung next as one of their backers or leaders. AIZ Crypto. A lot of people might know that one. All right, just checking the chat. So the Story ecosystem. Story is already powering the next wave of IP applications, from tokenized brands to DePIN to creator licensing and AI native data marketplaces. All right, I was hoping they would do a little bit better on the explanation here. Give us just a little bit more to go off of, but they really do get straight to the point, so I can't blame them for that. It's all about being able to monetize your IP. And again, $1.8 billion in market cap. They're not doing poorly. They're doing quite well. So let's go back. Right now, we're really getting through some of the biggest ones in AI. Can't ignore artificial superintelligence alliance. Now, if you know about this token, you will know that this token was not always this token. It is a combination of Ocean Protocol, Singularity Net, and under the FET token. I believe there was one more too. There was another project that integrated into this. Anyways, I think FET was it, and they just kept calling it FET, was the third project, right? So $1.8 billion in its market cap. Let's go to its max log. Max log might be a little deceiving because I don't know what coin they're going off of. So 2019, February 28th, has an Ethereum contract and is on Cardano, Osmosis, and BNB Smart Chain, Binance Smart Chain. So that's cool to see. Let's go check out their website. Let's see if they gave us an interesting website, because a lot of this AI stuff is very techy, and they don't always give us the best, fun to look at websites, which I do think hurts them a little bit. I'm going to be honest. Build with ASI. Oh, one mini. Let's see. Can we actually read it? Your Web3 native LLM, large language model journey starts here. These go so fast, they make them hard to read. Builders behind decentralized AI, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, research and infrastructure for decentralized AGI. Going to make me try to read as fast as humanly possible. So let's talk about, they have their mission here. So let's go ahead and read that. I think that's a good idea. Our mission is to decentralize AI. What is the difference between a centralized AI and a decentralized AI? Well, maybe they'll answer that for us, but that is a good question to have in your mind. We provide a robust open source innovation stack that empowers developers, enterprise, and researchers worldwide to build ethical, scalable, groundbreaking AI solutions, ensuring that advanced intelligence remains a shared, accessible resource. So why ASI Alliance? Decentralized control, open economy, privacy first, transparent and open source, aligned incentive, and modular infrastructure. Then they have some links over here where you can join them. And a lot of these projects seem like they're doing the same thing because they're in AI, but really they're having different approaches. They're niching out and doing different things. Like Render is all about rendering. And so there's room for all of these different things. And even though they have some pretty large market caps, honestly, there is plenty of room in the ecosystem. It is really just getting started. We talked a lot about RWAs yesterday, and I think RWAs are going to be one of the really big narratives in the next bull run for sure. And I think AI and AI agents is going to be right there as well. Infrastructure blog they have going. And I think we really covered the basis of what AI, artificial superintelligence, is, ASI. Another big one. And the graph. Okay, the graph is one I hope does really well because I bought it quite some time ago. And it's held out. I don't remember exactly why I bought it, but I did buy it on Coinbase quite some time ago. $1 billion in market cap. It has a lot to do with AI. I really don't think that a lot of people knew when the graph came out. It did a lot of pumping because it was a new coin and people were enthused about it, but I really don't think people really knew what it was about and why they were even around or what their mission was. So when did this thing come out? Came out in 2020, December 15, 2020. Let's go to their website. More techie websites. Fast, easy access to blockchain data. So graph is all about data. Rendering is all about rendering. So you can see the different niches and narratives. Narrative is super important when we are deep diving, so that you can begin to categorize and put these things in different places in your mind for how they all work together and how they're all different from each other. The graph organizes and serves Web3 data. Do you know what Web3 is? Build faster, 100% less servers, spend less, 60 to 98% less per month. I don't think people realize how much money you have to spend to have an AI project and have these type of things a month. It is staggering. Increase resilience. So industry standard data access, subgraphs, substreams, and token API. Web3 powered by Graph. So tens of thousands of developers rely on the graph to create best-in-class user experience, explore a rich ecosystem of communities created by subgraphs, or build your own with the graph. Let me hit this water. Thank you, everybody, for being here. So Cyrus says, cheers from Colorado. Cheers, brother. Glad that you're here. Do you own any AI coins, AI agent coins? What do you, how do you feel about the AI niche in crypto? Is it here to stay? Is it more next bull run? Where do you sit on that? I would love to hear that in the chat. Let's go back to our list by market cap of the biggest AI coins. The gems usually a little more down towards the bottom, but we definitely did go over the biggest one. So virtuals is one that I think a lot of people would be familiar with. A lot of people got excited about virtuals for sure. And if you look at its max, it is up 9,000%, right? So people that got in early on this one did phenomenal. Under $1 billion in market cap, $866 million in its market cap. 1 billion coins in its max supply. And then we have 655.5 million in its circulating supply. The chart looks pretty interesting. Looks like a nice little cup and handle there. Not that we're going to get into any TA. Let's go to the monthly. So virtuals.io, let's go to their website. Really? They don't want to let me go to virtuals? I've been to the website many a times. I hate when your ad blocker or your stuff does that. Oh, what's up, Drizzy? Glad to see you in here. Check out Vista, please. All right. Since you came in here and dropped a comment, I will take a look at it. Hopefully, it's easy to find on CoinGecko. Is it Ether Vista? It's got to be it. Yeah, glad to see you here, Drizzy. Hope you're having a great day. We're talking about AI narrative coins. AI niche is what we've been going. I got a good one for anybody who wants to use some of their extra, the internet that you don't really use, the bandwidth you don't use to mine some coin. I got a really cool project that I want to show everybody. I've been mining for a while. So this Vista is sitting at $10 million in market cap, has an Ethereum contract. Let's go take a look at their website. I'm not 100% sure exactly what it is. All right, they have swaps, liquidity, some fiat, Ether fun. It was on Ethereum, right? I did say that. All right, cool. So this is very much has a lot to do with Ethereum. Looks like a place maybe you can buy a lot of tokens. Is it an exchange? They have a swap, so probably is an exchange. So is this a decentralized exchange? Maybe soccer fan, you can let me know. And if you're in here, please hit that subscribe button. Helps us greatly as a small channel. We're doing this Monday through Friday for sure, but I think I'm going to be doing some weekend streams as well, potentially. So this is pretty cool. I see a lot of different coins here. Let's just pick one real quick, right? Let's go with Pupil. I've heard of that before. Okay, so it looks like, can I trade it? There's somewhere I can trade. They got Dex Screener. We could connect a wallet. I don't have a burner wallet to use for the stream yet. All right. So that's pretty much what Ether Vista is. Let's see what Cyrus is saying. AI coins will be the future. Near render both. I grabbed up early looking at low cap coins now. Very interesting. Hey man, that's great. I do own I don't own actually Near render. I own a little bit of Tau is what I got into originally. Let's see if this thing will let me go back. It's pumped fun on ETH, kind of like Uniswap. Okay, that was the vibe that I was getting for sure. That it was like a very decentralized exchange mixed with even some, looks like some trading as well. Maybe they just had the charts, so when you go to connect your wallet and swap or buy, you can see the charts as well. But that's really good. I mean, a lot of people have problem with Ethereum because of the transaction fees, but maybe one day they'll solve that, right? So we went over Berachain a couple of days ago, which is like a copy of Ethereum, but they decided to go with proof of liquidity as a standard instead of proof of stake. So that was a really interesting idea. How many of you guys have ever heard of Berachain? Not an AI token, but I figured I would throw that out there. So Virtual Protocol is all about AI agents. If I haven't said that yet, we talked about what AI agents are, but we didn't really talk about the different platforms that track them and launch them. Virtual Protocol is one of those. Theta Network. Theta's been around for a while. Theta was supposed to be replacing YouTube from my memory. Let's go to their website. So the decentralized cloud for AI, media, and entertainment. Yep. And I believe they really wanted to try to take over some of the market share of YouTube. Not really sure how that's going. I know a few people who hold it. I thought about buying some Theta a couple of times. Kind of glad I didn't. Looks like AI agents they're getting into as well. Edge Cloud, Olympus. Very interesting. Theta Network expands. I wish they'd give us just a quick breakdown right away of what it is. Share your GPU for AI and video workloads to earn T-Fuel. Okay, well, T-Fuel is another coin in their network there. Shout out to everybody who's here. Hit that like, share, subscribe. T-Fuel you can earn. So just like a project that I want to bring up that is probably newer than this, you can be a node operator and own T-Fuel, which is a coin within their ecosystem here connected to the project for sharing your GPU for AI. I think that this idea is going to be seen in a lot of different projects because all of them need rendering power, GPU power, you know, all the different things. I'm not a computer nerd by any means, but it does make sense to me why they need those things. So Theta Edge Cloud delivers the best price to performance and fastest sign up to direct access to GPU nodes cluster via SSH. So very much what Amazon Web Service would do. I want to spend a little bit more time on this, but I feel like they're not quite giving us the information we want fast enough, and I don't want to bore you guys. I want to keep you guys engaged. So let's back up here. If it'll let us. Back up. It's probably because I have that project I want to tell you guys running, and it's probably slowing me down a little bit. So here's one that I thought was pretty interesting. Not the project that I've been touting, but this is Belledex, right? So Belledex. And it's $506 million in its market cap. Not too small. Max supply, again, is infinite. Don't love to see that, but if you manage a project right, sometimes it's not a big deal. Ethereum is pretty much an infinite max supply as well, and it sticks around, right? So Belledex, AI for blockchain, empowering a new internet with AI and blockchain for seamless, confidential, computed, secure, and smart interactions. Explore the ecosystem. So AI at the core of Belledex. And this thing goes wicked fast, so we got to pause it. Belledex AI for Belnet. We got Belledex AI for BChat. We got Belledex AI for Belnet. Isn't that what we just read? Oh, here's the other one. So Belledex Browser. So they have some things, some products. That's what we would call a product, digital product, but a product nonetheless. AI and blockchain in action for individuals, for developers, and for businesses. So for individuals, protect sensitive communication with confidential centered apps, navigates the web smarter and faster with AI-powered browsing. Belledex AI side chains. Distributed training for efficiency, transparent audit-ready workflows, cross-platform integrations for seamless model deployment, trusted by leading investors. So who are they touting over here? Block Alpha, DWF Labs, who I'm not familiar with, and BitGert Ventures. I have heard of them. Collaborating with industry leaders. Yeah, Drizzy, it was a great pump today. Bitcoin got a nice recovery, but also altcoins seemed to catch a little pump off of it. That's really good to see. Sometimes Bitcoin recovers and the altcoins just kind of sit there and even still continue to bleed, even though Bitcoin's going up. And so it's nice to see them getting that reaction. Our journey towards a decentralized future. So what is a common theme that you see in almost all of these? Decentralization. Do you know the difference between centralized and decentralized? Why does it matter? Many people are in crypto because of the decentralization narrative. There's some, ups and downs, pros and cons to it, and there's a big conversation around that we will leave for another time. What's a low cap 10x potential AI coin? I'm going to show you one here in a minute. That's the one that I'm not really holding off. It's in our list. I'm just waiting to get to it. Not really trying to gatekeep it, but I definitely will be getting to it very shortly here. At Belladex, we are committed to evolving blockchain and AI technology to create secure, scalable, innovative solutions. Our roadmap outlines key milestones and the direction of our project as we shape the future of decentralized ecosystems. I do love roadmaps. I love when they keep up to date with what they're doing with their roadmaps. So right off the bat, we come into 2024. DNS leak protection, firewall setting feature, VPN hotspot. And let's see, in progress. Let's go to where they are right now, right? DNS marketplace release, LWS mobile app release, Beldex protocol release in Arbitrum network, deploy first federated learning test model in BChat, which I think is kind of like an AI chat, kind of like ChatGPT. AI tracker features release on Belnet. Masternode dashboard release, AI smart routing implementation in Beldex. So that's kind of what they're up to right this second. We could read everything in their roadmap, but you also could come to the website and read that as well. I got to keep it moving for everybody else who is here. Again, yeah, for sure. Stick around, Drizzy. I got you. Let's go back, see what's under Belladex. And all of these are in the list of their market cap. So we started with the biggest ones in their market cap, and we are scrolling down through them. Next is going to be Arweave, right? Ticker is AR, number 191 by market cap overall in crypto. $484 million in its market cap, a nice small supply of 66 million coins. And for such a small amount of coins, I think it's interesting that it's only at $7.40 and it's at 65.4 thousand circulating supply. So really a lot of those coins are not out yet. A lot of people love Arweave. I hear a lot of people say a lot of good things about Arweave. Right off the bat, they're what is this? Arweave networks like Bitcoin. I feel like this is going to tell me they're having some kind of issue. All right, very interesting website. Meet Arweave, permanent information storage. Reminds me of Filecoin. The Arweave network is like Bitcoin, but for data. A permanent and decentralized web inside an open ledger. Permanent storage has many applications, from the preservation of humanity's most important data to the hosting of truly decentralized and provable neutral web apps. Arweave protocol is stable, mature, and widely adopted. I believe that to be true, as much its ecosystem is fully decentralized. This site is just the tip of the iceberg. It acts as a map that points you to places you can learn about, use, and build Arweave. So the way they set that up, it makes it sound like we could spend a lot of time on Arweave. Maybe we need to do a whole deep dive of just Arweave one day. Hit that water so I can keep reading all of these websites. So that's Discover. Let's go to use case, right? Because why should anybody care about Arweave? Arweave is being used in countless different ways. Take your first step with the power of permanent data storage by uploading a file. Make your homepage on the permanent permaweb, I like that term, or simply learning more about Arweave and its ecosystem. Get started. They have all kinds of different things here, from the permanent web to making your homepage on the permanent web, Arweave weekly news, and explore the wiki. So if you are invested, I would think it would be a good idea to come look at the weekly news. Remember, any of these coins we go over, I am in no way endorsing. I'm just doing research, as I think any good, responsible investor should be doing. Trusted by the best. Meta, okay. Instagram, I feel like saying Meta and Instagram is like saying the exact same thing, but we got Metaplex and Mirror. So we got Build, and you could build on it. We won't go crazy with that. Get funded. You could get funded if you had a project that you wanted to do, and that's Arweave. Very much in storage. So as we break it down, this is one thing that we like to do here on Underground Crypto, is we have a category. Our category is AI, right? The niche, though, of Arweave is storage. I think that that's really important to note when you're thinking about building a portfolio. Not financial advice, but you should probably be well-rounded, at least in the projects that you want. So if you wanted to build an AI portfolio, you probably shouldn't throw everything in AI storage, right? You should probably round yourself out. So we have AI OZ network, sitting at about 39 cents, $472.1 million in market cap, with a max supply again. So this seems to be pretty common in AI to have a max supply. 1.1 billion in circulating supply. The circulating supply becomes pretty irrelevant, honestly, when you don't have a max supply. There's nothing to compare it to, right? So Ethereum contract, also Osmosis and BNB. Now, I keep seeing Osmosis, and it's certainly a project I'm familiar with. I can't wait to do a deep dive on the Osmosis ecosystem. That's going to be a lot of fun. And remember, I started doing this channel because I was already doing all this deep dive and research. And so for me, it's fun, and I would be doing this if I was here by myself anyways, right? So let's go look at their website and see what niche they are in. Storage right here, streaming, DePIN. All right, so lots of good keywords here to keep in the back of your mind. I like Cookie Dow, says Water Buffalo. Hey, glad to see, Water Buffalo, that you're back again. Really appreciate you coming back and interacting with the stream and the community. I like Cookie Dow as well. I wish I owned it. If you're in crypto, you know it is hard to own all the different coins, because I really would like to own a substantial amount of all the ones that I consider good, right? It's kind of impossible to do. You kind of got to pick what you want. I wanted to buy some Cookie Dow. I never did. Rant over. AIOZ Network, DePIN, powering Web3, AI, streaming, and storage. So it says our vision. Let's click on that, because that's really where I think we could get to the meat of what this project is all about, maybe what sets them apart. You see DePIN. We haven't seen that on a lot of the other websites that we've been looking at. So that's notable, right? Collaborative and decentralized AI computation is now available to everyone and everywhere. Then we got storage, affordable, faster, and secure. Decentralized storage for dApps and developers. PIN, simple and reliable pinning infrastructure. Streaming, enabling businesses to deliver high-quality video content globally. So how it works. We have blockchain, AI, OZ. Blockchain empowers Web3 builders with a one-click integration of dApps and support for popular smart contract languages across Ethereum and Cosmos network. Yes, developers have to use all kinds of different languages depending on what network they are developing on, and I feel like that is why most developers are over on Ethereum. So DePIN, a global community supports AIOZ DePIN with thousands of individuals utilizing spare computing resources. There's that narrative again, to power Web3 AI storage and media deliveries. Yeah, I feel you. There's more I want but can't. Yeah, I know people in crypto with a lot of money. You know, to the common man, at least, a lot of money. And they're even saying the same thing, like, I wish I could put another 200 grand in something. And it's like, Trust me, you got it going on. I wish I could throw 100 grand in something at all. Infrastructure, right? AIOZ DePIN powers AI computation, data storage, and seamless media and video streaming for dApps within the AIOZ network. Then they want to run us into a roadmap, or it says roadmap, but it doesn't actually have a roadmap. But anyways, you get the point. This has a lot to do with DePIN. Now, they do a lot of the same things as a lot of other AI coins, right? Or projects, depending on what terminology you prefer. But we see DePIN all over the place, right? So that should be something that you kind of niche the project down into more. How many DePIN AI companies or projects do you know or are invested in? How many of you are holding in your portfolio? Do you believe in the DePIN narrative to be important in crypto, or I should say in AI technology? So hit that subscribe button as we continue. Not trying to hold off on you, but the project that I really want to show you is down a little bit more. So this is DEXE, something I have no idea what it is. Maybe I should know what it is. Do you know what this is? $7.21, up only 0.1% on the monthly. Let's go to its max chart. Whenever there's a coin I don't know, I really want to know how long it's been out, because to me that helps me kind of gauge the project. So October 7th, 2020, it's been around for a while. So $412.3 million in its market cap. I like its total supply here, 96.5 million. And its circulating supply is 57.1 million. Not too shabby for how long that project's been around. And let's hop over to their website, because I really want to know what this is about. Yes, we'll accept your cookies. DEXE protocol is your gateway to next generation governance. Okay. An innovative infrastructure for crafting and steering DAOs, empowered by the strength of decentralized community. So far, all of these projects that we looked over, how many of them were talking about DAOs or steering DAOs, or even governance? So this is already kind of niching itself out in its own way. Build high-level Web3 products on different chains with the DEXE protocol. That's fun to say a bunch of times. So Web3 products on different chains. It's what we call interoperability. Big word that just means it works on a bunch of different chains, right? Or works in conjunction with a bunch of different chains. Basic smart contract factories and your capabilities. So DAO contracts, governance contracts, treasury contracts, launchpad contracts, delegation contracts, and consulus contracts create meritocracy voting module with custom logic and math. Okay. And so that just looks like what they do. They don't have a ton of other information. That's what the project does. Sometimes you just can't beat the dead horse too many times, because there's not really any other information there, if you know what I mean. All right, Akash Network. Now, Akash Network is one that I don't hear a lot, but when I do hear somebody talk about it, they are like all in on it. So it's worth talking about, in my opinion. $339.7 million in its market cap, $388.5 million max supply, $276 million in their circulating supply. Max chart says 2020. All right. So let's go take a look at their website. One thing I did just notice is they are touting their own contract, meaning they are a layer 1. I'm assuming that is true. And then the other ones they were on were interesting. Osmosis, of course. But what is Archway? I'm not familiar with Archway. When I see stuff like this that I don't know what it is, kind of excites me as somebody who loves to deep dive and research. When this is over, I'm going to go figure out what Archway is. The decentralized cloud built for AI's next frontier. So just like the other ones we were looking at, what's the niche, right? Why should this exist in conjunction with all the other ones that we just read? Where is it going to sit and hold its position and not be taken over by something that does the same thing as it does, right? Unlock global GPU power at fractions of the cost. So get up to $500 in GPU credits. So this looks like some place where they sell credits for GPU, costs that scales. So, oh wow, they even have some prices here. So Akash network is $2.39 per hour, where AWS is like $4.33 per hour. Google Cloud is 2 cents per hour. And CoreWeave is like $6.50 per hour. So you can kind of see where it stacks up against its competitor. And yes, it is the cheaper one according to them. I don't know if that's true. This really reminds me of when I wanted to use AWS to mine XRP. I really should have did that, but you got to pay like $250 a month. I'm not real sure what the numbers were anymore because that was quite some time ago. I think that I wasn't really going to make a whole lot of money in what XRP was then, which was like 25 cents. Now I'd be crushing it. I really probably should have did that. Real-time AI inference, generative AI applications, machine learning training, large language models, and data incentive analytics. Do you know what a large language model is? That's one that I'm just going to throw out there. I'm not going to explain it, but large language models are critical to the training of AI. Significant cost saving, and they're just going to tout a bunch of things. I don't need to read all those things at you. The fuel behind Akash is AKT. So AKT is the coin, Akash is the network. And again, what is Archway? Part of me really just wants to look it up right now. Does anybody know what Archway is as a L1 or as its own chain? All right, let's take a step back. And I'm going to go ahead and get right to the project that I wanted to talk about. Grass. Okay, so Grass is the one that I kind of been holding on to a little bit here. Now, Grass has not been around very long, hence to why it's down towards the bottom of the list. It is October 27, 2024. You can see it came out, got a little bit of a run, and then, of course, Bitcoin just really destroyed everything, and it went with, this chart looks a lot like pretty much any chart on any coin, to be honest with you. So 81 cents is what it's sitting at right now. We had some nice pumps, where I think we ran up to like $3 at one point. That was pretty cool. I remember when this thing came out. Yeah, it looks like the highest it's been is $3.66. Had a nice little pullback here. And again, $246.4 million in its market cap. So this thing is pretty small. I think this thing is really just getting started. Grass is fire. All right, Drizzy, so you know what I'm talking about. Are you mining, Drizzy? Are you mining rewards for Grass? You letting it use up your extra bandwidth that you're not using, that you pay for already? Are you getting rewards for that? If not, down in the description. I'm not just trying to shill. I think it's helpful if you want to mine something from your own, from your own computer without having these big rigs. You can sign up for it, download it, and just let it use your extra stuff. I do it. I haven't had any problems or security breaches or anything of that nature that I know of. So my link is in the description. All right, enough of that. So it looks like 1 billion in max supply tokens, circulating 300.7 million. Yeah, Drizzy, you could be getting those rewards. If you like it, did you actually buy the coin? I think you told me you were just mostly holding a different coin, right? Let's go to Grass. So let's look at their website. Now, I did do a full deep dive pre-recorded video. You could go check that out as well. Although a lot of these projects move fast, this deep dive we're going to do right now will be the most up to date, right? So get rewarded for your internet you don't use. This is the whole premise of this coin. What I like about this coin, now, other projects that we've gone over their website, they very much have like hinted at this idea of using GPU and things that are out there that nobody's using or just going to waste, but they get a little bit more straight to the point. And I like the website. It's a little bit more engaging, and I like that. So they have a desktop app, right? You can open dashboard up here, but what I was getting tongue-tied to say is they've just launched an iOS and Android app to really do the same thing as well. So you can connect this to your already mining dashboard and then get a boost in power by using also your mobile data, right? So Grass turns your unused internet into rewards automatically. Join in 3 clicks. Right here you can download Grass. Certainly you could go download it, but support your boy and use my link. I appreciate it. I think you even get some bonuses for doing that. Why it matters, and I'm not sponsored by them, right? Why it matters, you pay for internet every month, right? But most of it goes unused, doing nothing for you. Grass puts that unused part of your connection to work and turns it into rewards. It's a resource you've always had, now put it to work. I think that's a good point, and I don't see a lot of projects really pushing it like this. I can think of maybe one other project that really hits this, but they don't have great artwork, they don't have a great website, and honestly, from using their product, the thing you actually download and use, I would say it's very user-friendly, very simple to use, and there's not a lot of stuff you have to do to make it work. Other things are more techy and are honestly really annoying. So how it works, in just 3 clicks, you can install the app, automatically earn by sharing the unused parts of your internet. Your participation is tracked through Grass Points, which helps determine how many Grass token rewards you receive over time. Grass cannot see your personal data or online activity. We're probably just taking their word for that, right? Only the unused parts of your connection is ever shared. But if we want to put it into perspective, if you use ChatGPT, I'm sure that it can access things that it tells you it doesn't access, right? It would be in government's interest, business interest, advertising interest for it to actually still look at everything it tells you it's not going to. It is what it is. That's why I'm not super worried about this. I think they have all your information already anyways. Why people trust it, right? You're in control. Grass is made for you to share your unused bandwidth, nothing more. With Grass, no one, not even us, can access your private information or view your personal online activity. Regularly audited and constantly monitored, Grass is recognized as safe to use by all of the leading antivirus providers. Grass is built with your privacy in mind and designed to stay out of your way. And it does really, when you just click out of it, it's just like, okay, it's minimized, it runs in the background, you never see it. So you can download, create an account, you can link a wallet to it, and you can earn. And who knows, maybe my Grass tokens are going to the wallet I linked and I'm not even paying attention because I've been on this for a while. Now you're getting real value from a resource you didn't know you had. They just keep touting that over and over. I think you guys get the point on that. When and how are Grass tokens awarded? I myself would actually like to know that. Grass tokens will be rewarded via airdrops at intervals that are determined by the Grass Foundation. The first airdrop of Grass token occurred October 28, 2024, which was, what was that, 100 million tokens were airdropped to more than 2 million users. Users were eligible to receive Grass token in the initial airdrop, and who didn't not participate as a result of not submitting their public wallet address before the airdrop deadline, we will be given the opportunity to participate in future airdrops. Okay, that's pretty cool. I remember I got in right after they did this, so I actually wasn't able to get any of the airdrop. It was a little bit of a bummer, but hey, at least I got in when I did. I've earned quite a bit of rewards. I'm waiting for that next airdrop, right, or redeemability. So this is Grass. I think they have a great product. I love to see that they're innovating. They've launched the iOS and Android app. They did not have that before, so they're still building. They're not sitting complacent. I like to see that. And again, this is not sponsored. They have not paid me to tell you this. I say all this because I want to. But I think we spent enough time on Grass, though. Everybody agree with that? Drop down in the comments what you guys think of that. Using your unused internet that you already pay for. So next project we're going to go into is Quebec, or Cubic. Cubic has a lot of people excited. I know that for sure. There's a lot of people who talk about Cubic. 333.3. It's a lot of threes. $1 million in its market cap. It's got 200 trillion coins. At least it has a max supply. For 200 trillion coins, though, I almost feel like they should have just made it infinite. But a lot of times, how many coins, what the price is, doesn't really matter much, in my personal opinion. When you're really talking about tokenomics, the big elephant in the room that you should probably be most focused on is market cap. So 124.3 trillion in the circulating supply. So there's still quite a few tokens to come out on this one. Let's go to their website. So Cubic, I think, has some innovative stuff, right? I don't think it's been out very long. Let's hop back over, go to the max chart. How long has this thing been around? 2023, so a little longer than I thought it was. Fastest blockchain ever. Big, bold statement, right? We're number one. Cubic is the fastest blockchain ever verified on mainnet. 15.5 million TPS throughput per second. Certified by Certic, whoever that is. So performance test results, and we got open innovation, forget fees and delays. Cubic offers fast, feeless, so they're saying they're feeless, transactions with instant finality. That's how quick it finishes your transaction. Your transactions are secure and final, even offline, which is pretty cool. Fast, free, and reliable. Cubic is the fastest ever Certic verified blockchain with peak TPS. So turning energy into intelligence. Forget proof of work, it says. I know a lot of people who are miners, and they don't want to forget proof of work. They want everything to be proof of work. It's hard to argue with them, too. Cubic, Cubic's useful proof of work, right? So they use a different type of idea, not just proof of work, but useful proof of work. So it's just really an improvement on the proof of work idea. It's coming back to me now. I've looked at this project before. Transforms the energy used in mining into something greater, artificial intelligence. So they're using the unused energy into artificial intelligence. So that's pretty cool. We were just talking about how AI, artificial intelligence, needs a lot more energy and struggles to get bandwidth, GPU power, rendering, you name it. Anything you can think of that has to do with computing, they need it. So oracles. What is an oracle? An oracle gathers and feeds data. We talked a lot about Chainlink the other day with RWAs. Chainlink has become kind of the biggest thing in RWAs. And it's because of its ability to feed data. Going back to the idea that AI needs a lot of data among a lot of other computing power. Cubic oracles will connect the real-world data with smart contracts, AI Garth's AI model, enabling real-time data integration for smarter, more dynamic applications, and smart contract IPO. AI Garth is Cubic's kind of big thing. I also did a fully pre-recorded video of Cubic, so go check that out. I have many pre-recorded videos that I have done in the past, and I will continue to do them. I've really switched over to live streaming because I think this gets us more community, which was what I really set out to build in the first place. They got grant programs, incubation programs, kind of the same thing. After you get the grant, then they kind of incubate you, make sure that their money is well put to work, and just give it to you for no reason. They try to help you along. It's definitely in their interest to do that, right? And it's actually up on its max chart, so that's pretty cool. A lot of projects are down on their max because they get super sold off by early investors, if you understand. All right, so I think we're going to stop at Catio maybe, but let's go ahead and look at Live Peer. So Live Peer, LPT, number 268 by market cap, sitting at $6.70, $292.5 million in its market cap, 43.6 million max supply. I like when they have a small max supply. Not that it really matters. It's just a preference of mine. And 43.6. All right, so it's fully vested. All the coins are out. The circulating supply is the same as the max supply. That's really cool. We're on max chart, right? Yep. All right, so let's go over. It says 2018, so this thing has been out for a long time, and I've honestly never heard of it. Live Peer, the future of live video is here. Is it, though? That's what you want to know. Is it really there? Because this thing is way down the list. It's been around since 2018, and I've absolutely never heard of it. Doesn't mean I know everything, but I probably should have heard of it for how long it's been around. So the future of live is here. Live Peer built the foundation for open video, powering everything from transcoding to live streaming. It's pretty cool. Does it work? I have no idea. Start creating. Experience the power of real-time AI video. So is it going to like live stream AI video? That sounds terrifying. Has anybody ever seen AI videos that have been made for like commercials and big corporations and company? They are borderline terrifying. AI should really make horror movies because honestly, when it tries to make videos, they make no sense and they're kind of terrifying. Did I say that already? All right, Cadio, however you're supposed to say this coin. I have no idea. You say it however you want to say it, right? 272 by market cap. Who's going to stop you from saying these coins however you want to say them? Like people that say Bitcoin or Ethereum. I've heard that one so many times from older folks. It's hilarious. $284 million in its market cap, $1 billion in max supply, 241 million in its circulating supply. So this thing has a lot of coins to come out. Trying to remember why this coin was getting so much attention. Is it mineable? Is it proof of work? Anybody know anything about this coin? Pre-TGE Mindshare Arena. So Mindshare is an analytic that I also see a lot on Cookie.DAO, stuff like that. And I'm not really sure what it all incorporates. I think I will research that, maybe bring that into the Discord. Again, I haven't even shouted it out. The Discord link is in the description. Should have did it when everybody was viewing, when we were at our peak, right? But that Discord link is there. Come join us. A couple people have hopped over there. I appreciate anybody who does. We're building it up. It's new. Conversation might be a little bit slow, but you have access to me, really, and ask me anything you want. I won't tell you what to do with your money, but I can tell you what to do, what I would do, right? I can tell you what I would do in different situations. So it's got a launch pad. Cadio has a launch pad. What was its ecosystem? Base blockchain. All right, for the win. I love Base blockchain. I think it's going to be great. What are the odds that a huge company like Coinbase is going to create its own blockchain and then not pump a bunch of liquidity into it and make it look good? Because really, it's a reflection of their company. So I think Base blockchain is going to do really well. They have capital, and this is a capital game. So they're way ahead of it, right? Join initial community offerings. So you can sign in, I guess, to see that. We got airdrops, everything you got to sign in. They ain't going to let us look at nothing without signing in. I'm not going to take the time to make a sign in, but maybe another time I will have that squared away for you guys. If you're still here, drop a comment. Let me know you're still here. Okay, so the way this is set up honestly looks just like Cookie.DAO. I like how they have the bigger ones for the bigger coins, and as you go down, they get smaller. They have the mind share going with a lot of them. Polymarket is in there. Pre-TGE Arena. What are yaps? I don't know. You have to sign in or they won't tell you. They got a social card. All right. So we will go back because they don't want to show us a lot of information. But it's cool because we kind of saw what it was and how it's used. So I think that's enough for that. So that's $1.18 for Cadio, number 272 by market cap. What other coins do we have here? And I keep saying I'm going to do a DeFi gaming stream. I really want to, but I haven't got to it yet. So Arkham. Now I'm just going to kind of scroll through here. Sahara AI is one that was, I'm going to look at that one real quick. So that one is number 343 by market cap with $197.1 million in its market cap, 10 billion tokens, 2.1 billion circulating supply. And it hasn't been out very long from my understanding. I'd be shocked if it was out a long time. Yep, 2025, January 26. This thing, when it came out, got tons of hype. It's on Ethereum. It's also on Binance Smart Chain, one of my favorite ecosystems. And yes, I will say that every time I talk about Binance Smart Chain because I really do love Binance Smart Chain. Built for AI developers, open for everyone. I wonder how I've never been to their website. Their website actually looks pretty good. Sahara AI is for everyone and AI model developers. Build, train, and monetize AI models to access high-quality data sets, end-to-end developer tools, and multi-revenue opportunities in an open, collaborative ecosystem for AI users, for resource providers. Build with Sahara AI. So, again, it's AI, has a lot of empowerment for developers. Access high-value data sets and data labeling. So again, talking about keywords, talking about niche. If you're really soaking this stuff up and I'm not completely losing you, Yes, it's AI category, but what is its niche? You see high value data sets, data labeling services. These things are important for AI and developers. Leverage open source and proprietary AI models. That's a fun one. Utilize simple or advanced AI developer tools. Generate revenue from your AI assets. So if you're a developer, man, now is a gold mine, or a gold rush, I should say, to develop different AI agents or capable AIs that are niched out and monetize them. And there's probably a ton of money for you to make. There's all kinds of different platforms that you could build on. There's just so much out there. And with that, I'm going to tell everybody, have a great night. Crypto Ron is out of here for the night. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I hope it wasn't too techy. I hope you learned something. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and of course, come back Monday through Friday, 8:30 New York time. 8:30 p.m. that is, and we will do another deep dive, right? And hop in that Discord. I would love to see you over there. I'd love to get to meet people. I'm a people person, so I love to chat with everybody, and I will catch you guys later. I need like a cool ending stream slogan. But for now, I just say have a great night.